ground shake.
Hello YouTube! Today I have here a B2 audio, sweet like Danish, a subwoofer, big, 700 euros cost, a HN15 series subwoofer. Now let's check it out from the surface. How does it look like, what kind of glues they are be using, and what kind of build quality the subwoofer is, and then we will be checking out the parameters. Now this is not a driven in subwoofer, so the parameters will be higher than the tech sheet that comes with the subwoofer says, but let's check it out them anyhow. So front of here we have a nice plastic dust cap with a painted logo. It's not a sticker, it's painted a normal. It is actually, I think it was 22 millimeters. Yes, 22 millimeters, and it's well, just a little bit short from 1 inch from the width and height of the surround. Now, I don't have my GoPro here, so I will be using a normal cell phone as a camera, but we will be checking out some of the glues right away in here. So camera on and some light please, and let's check it out what we can see in here. So the normal plastic dust cap here. One thing I noticed, I think it was on this side, hopefully I get it on camera, this little marking here says that this dust cap has been set correctly into the vertical from the these terminals. So this is probably handmade. Actually, I follow Jay Holm in Instagram, and he posts a lot of these build videos and pictures of B2 audio being done. So I think this subwoofer, and I hope every subwoofer they build is handmade, because this little thing here tells me that there has been a human, let's say a person who really enjoys making subwoofers, has been making this, because every hole here has been in the correct order here. So every hole here is aligned properly, and actually we can see now here what kind of glue they are using as with this well, not spider, but this surround here. So hopefully I don't flip this subwoofer. It is quite hard, but still has a little bit transparent white glue, not a normal yellowish glue that cheap subwoofers tend to have. This is quite good solid glue for the surround here. Now you don't want to use a really hard glue up in here. A soft one will be better, and actually here you can see a little bit of glue stains here. Transparent glue helps a lot, and this is also similar glue than this. Maybe it's a little bit more transparent, but it is very good glue to use here. Too hard glue tends to rip off, rip the paper cone off, or just snap away. Let's see underneath here. As you can see, here is nice double leads to the voice coil. Let's take a stick here. Double leads that has been stitched on, really nicely, and perhaps here is also, I think here is also a little bit of this glue that has been glued up in here also. But double leads around here. Let's take them apart and check them out. Well, trust me, there's double leads. Actually, you can see over there that there's double leads. At the voice coil, they be using I think this is black CA glue. If I scratch it, yes, it is really hard black CA glue, and this is perfect glue to use underneath here. The paper cone underneath here is pressed, so it's not as rigid as let's say other brands that use really high, but this former here, but with this nice solid one piece paper cone, it is more aligned, it does not wiggle around that much. If we can see underneath here, we have, I hope that is a copper bolt or perhaps a brass bolt. Now actually I'm not sure why the top of the bolt is colored that way. Maybe some solder has dropped on it, and underneath here you can see really nice glues all around, glued everything out, and lead has also glued that it is soldered and then glued. That makes them really hard to snap out. So this is, and they are perfectly aligned here, so no space here to touch in the frame or anything like that. A nice big bump here. The excursion should not be long enough to this to hit over here, so this is perfectly fine, and this allows really nice and long throw. We have probably 2 layers of spiders down here. Now the spiders are really hard for now. They don't crackle or anything. They are really nicely done. Perhaps there's a 1 layer underneath here with the glues we can see over there. 1 layer has been glued underneath, and then there's a spacer. This ring presses it down. Then there's a spacer ring, and another layer you can see it on there. And this beauty ring here and these screws held the packet together. Now we don't see, they are using really nice flush these threaded hexagon screws here, so it is really nice finish here, no glue stains or anything. Then we can see this normal basket that many brands use. A lot of brands use. This is a really good basket, allows really wide, like 10, actually I think this was 10 inches wide spider down in here. The voice coil is 3 inch in diameter. It is actually 1500 watt Aromas and 3000 watt peak, and it is actually I see a black or blackish varnish over it, and the voice coil is probably, I think it's aluminium voice coil. It does not say on the internet if it is anything else, but I think this flat aluminium voice coil. It tends to have this little brownish color when the flash goes into it. It is high temperature. I think it is high temperature. A voice coil underneath. It is really nice, and the terminals, push terminals, are really huge. They are, I think I measured them around 8 millimeters or so. So you can fit like a, let's check it out. It's around 8 millimeters, and in inches it is that much. So really big and really strong terminals here. You can fit like 25 or up to 30 millimeter square millimeter these wires in it, so really good big terminal. The top plate here, I actually on the other video, in Finnish video, I scratched it already. It is hard epoxy, so this is really good glue. In Finland we have this problem where heat, cold and hot tends to loosen the top plate off, but I don't think this has the same issue, as this is really hard glue, not a soft glue used. Then we flip it over and check the bottom of the subwoofer. Behind here we can see nice B2 Audio logo there, and actually you can see the holes that are in the center pole. Now there's some residue from the holes being made, but it is something you don't really see any days. It is really unique to have a holes in here that allows much better cooling. And also, if I put my finger down in here, I can feel that the center pole goes a little bit like this, so it helps with the airflow and turbulence inside here, inside the motor. So this is probably really good for high temperature situations like burping and playing loud bass very long. The magnet is big, but not the biggest I've seen in this basket, but it is really I think it's okay for 3-inch driver, and with the power handling of 1500 watts, everything looks really good. Actually, what I really love about this subwoofer, that it has these little things that normal subwoofers really don't have, like these which has been made with a large batch. I think these are all handmade, and when you see the dust cap aligning mark, it tells me that somebody has thought about it, what way this dust cap has needs to be going, so it aligns with every subwoofer you install. You don't want to install, let's say, a wall of these and having 5 subwoofers in this and one subwoofer like 15 degrees in different position. It will just look really dumb. So these little things makes the subwoofer great. I've been not playing the subwoofer, but we'll see about those parameters, and we'll talk about a little about the specs more. So I have this DATS V2 here, where I'll be measuring the parameters. Let's just move this a little bit onto the side and put a leads in here and check the parameters. These actually have parameters on the data sheet over there. That's a normal thing, you have parameters, but these actually have a really good subwoofer enclosure dimensions in here. We'll talk about a little bit that more in later, but let's just check in here, in here, and measure the parameters. So this is saying that it has 0.94 ohm. So this is a D1 subwoofer, 0.94 ohms per voice coil. No, not the voice coil. Well, but the parameters are a little bit high. It has 42 hertz of resonance, but usually when you drive in your subwoofer, it will go down like 10 to 20 hertz. So I see no indication here that this would not go underneath 30 hertz when played in. Now when we check about the parameters in here, it actually says it has 33.5 hertz frequency. The resonant frequency, so it will go down like 10 hertz to be exact. Now this is a really good data sheet, just a little simple like this. It has all the measurements you need, all the center holes and everything in here. Normally the subwoofers don't have really good these pictures here, so you can make a really nice enclosure for this. It actually has displacement of a 10 liters, 9.7 liters, so if you put this in a 60 liter box, it will displace minus from the box about 10 liters. And actually if you see the data sheet here, I can read that the enclosure that is suggested is 169 liters with a box tuning of 32 hertz. So this tells me that the person who has been behind the subwoofer really knows nowadays what people listen nowadays. Normally these parameters and everything like this is around 37 to 40 hertz. Now this is tuned down to 32 hertz, which is really nice. And actually if you take the displacement off of a 10 liter and then you take the port displacement off, it is around 150 liters. This does not say that they are net liters, so I think this is just how big enclosure you will be putting your port and the subwoofer in. So it will go around 150 liters, which is actually my I like to say to people, my advice to people who buy 15-inch subwoofer, to put it in a 150 liter enclosure with tuning around 30 hertz, maybe a little bit over, but no under. So this is exactly the enclosure here is exactly what I would like to put this subwoofer in. So that these small little things, the little marking on the dust cap, really nice glues in here in right places, no too much, no too little, just enough, big terminals, little extra these venting holes on the centerpiece of the magnet, and a enclosure that I really like to use for one with 15-inch subwoofer tells me that the person is knows about nowadays bass heads and what kind of music they are listening. Now, we are not listening over 40 Hz tones. Well, SPL guys and person who likes to get loud scores use a over 40 Hz tuning. But a normal people who likes to listen to music, loud bass, loud bass, so they are using a little lower tuning, which is around 30 Hz or under. So this is a really good enclosure for this subwoofer, and I see no point of telling you that this subwoofer is bad or the specs are bad or anything. I just really think that everything in this subwoofer is think through. So high temp voice coil, 3-inch voice coil with a big spider to allow maximum excursion, big enough motor to keep the control on the subwoofer, double leads, big terminals to get power in, glued on the spiders, little bit of dab of glue on the stitching so they held together, 2 set of spiders, put it out like it's around maybe 2 centimeters wide apart, so it aligns it helps to keep the voice coiling straight. All of these little things adds up and makes this a good subwoofer. I would definitely recommend this to anyone. Even with the price of 699 euros, I think this is a really good choice for music listening. Also, if you want to use this for SPL or burping and use for music listening, this is a really good subwoofer. But if you want a bass that puts a loud bass, like you are competitor and go into competition to make as high SPL as possible with a high note, maybe you should consider a subwoofer with a little bit higher FS and stiffer suspensions. But everything in this subwoofer is really nice designed. Now, like if you like, dislike if you dislike. If you like the video, please subscribe. There's a little subscribe button, and remember to push the bell button. You know it already, everybody says it in their YouTube videos. If you like our merch, we have a worldwide merch with a bass head clothes like this one. It says HifiUutisia, that means Hi-Fi God, and my picture on it. If you want a bass head cap or anything, coffee mugs, anything, description, there's a link for all around in different kind of languages. If you want to buy a core audio related shirt or hoodie or anything like that, we will be greatly appreciate that. It helps the channel grow. So thanks for watching. B2 Audio HN15 subwoofer. I really like it. Do you like it? What kind of subwoofer you have? Do you have B2 Audio? So far, everything I've seen and tested and heard from B2 Audio, there has been nothing bad. Only thing that they are really a little bit pricey items, but with this kind of design features and this kind of overall quality of the subwoofer, even without listening, it just gives me a thumbs up and good subwoofer. Now we see you on the next video. Bye bye.